I was just a tired Airbnb host and burnt out lawyer with crazy student loans when I made my first Section 8 investment. And no trust fund, no connections, no safety net. And in less than 2 years, that first move turned into a $1 million rental portfolio that pays me while I'm sleeping, while I stayed at home with my babies. And honestly, sometimes I forget I even have tenants. So if you've been sitting on the sidelines wondering if Section 8 is actually legit, or you think it's just way too risky, too many horror stories, too complicated, or just not for you, you are in the right place. Because this is the exact video I wish I had when I was getting started. And I'm not holding anything back. But before we get into it, I put together a free Section 8 Quick Start roadmap with everything you need to build your own Section 8 rental strategy. The link is in the description below, so grab it and follow along with me. So the first way that Section 8 investing changed my life is that it gave me income that didn't need me in order to show up. So before Section 8, I was running 20 Airbnbs, and from the outside, it looked like the big flex. Revenue was coming in, properties were full for the most part, busy, busy, busy. But here's what no one tells you about short-term rentals and Airbnb. The money stops the second you stop working. The second you stop hustling to get bookings, the revenue stops coming in. A vacancy, that is your problem. A bad review, your problem. A 2 a.m. guest that's locked out and needs to get in, your problem. And I was in the process of trying to have a baby, having 2 babies back to back, and I wanted to be able to stay at home with them, stay at home when I was pregnant and rest. But the Airbnb money required me to keep showing up. There was no version of that business that ran without me, even with having a team, because you still have to manage that team and make sure everything is running smoothly day to day. And I needed income that didn't need me to clock in. So the lesson here that you want to take away is that active income has a ceiling, and real passive income, or 95% passive income, means you get paid whether you're working or not, whether you're sleeping or knee deep in diapers or not. And Section 8 completely flipped that for me. The second way Section 8 changed my life is that it replaced fear with a guaranteed check. So y'all, I've said this before, but just like many of you, I had all of the myths going in my head and I was scared of Section 8. Honestly, I came in knowing real estate, law, and I still had these fears that Section 8 tenants were going to trash the place, that the government is really slow to work with, or you never get your money on time. But then I did the math, I did the deep dive, I did my research, and with Section 8 rents, a guaranteed portion of that lands directly into my bank account from the government every single month. The tenant can't just up and decide not to pay the government's portion, so that portion is covered. That part never has to be worried about. It just lands in my account every month on the 1st, sometimes before the 1st. And with Section 8, the government is paying 80 to 100% of that rent every single month. And one of my old clients' tenants had been in his property for so long that the rent from that one property paid off the mortgage entirely. So the tenant stayed for years, he never had vacancy, and the mortgage was paid off. So you tell me what's risky about that. So the real lesson is that the risk in Section 8 is the same risk as with any rental and really any real estate investment. You have to screen your tenants with a real system, a deep dive system, know your numbers, and protect your asset with the right paperwork. What Section 8 adds that other types of rentals don't have is that the rent is guaranteed. Whether the economy is shaky, no matter the inflation, it's job loss proof, or shoot, even government shutdown proof, that can't be taken away from you. That guaranteed rent is going to still show up, and it has been proven time and time again. The third way it's changed my life is that it gave me my time back without giving up control. So when I tell people that I actually still self-manage my entire portfolio, I get one of 2 reactions. Either it's, oh, wow, how do you do that? That's so awesome. Or, girl, you are really brave to be self-managing Section 8 rentals. But with the system that we have put together, my husband literally forgets we have tenants until the rent deposits hit. He literally said that one day, oh, shoot, we just got paid. I forgot about them. And so that is all due to the system that we put into place. One of my tenants texted me about a broken doorbell recently. And because I have a system in place, I have a handyman on speed dial, I approved the fix in 20 minutes, it was done. That's the whole story, because I built a system that handles it before it ever becomes a crisis. And I also built a system where I have a great relationship with my Section 8 tenants, and this allows me to manage with ease and miss those headaches and horror stories. And this system is what allowed me to stay home with my babies for almost 3 years instead of running behind maintenance emergencies. So the thing you want to take in here and the lesson is that self-management doesn't mean doing everything yourself. It means building the right systems so the right people can handle the right things without you being a bottleneck in the entire process. And this will help you even if you decide to use a property manager. The fourth way is that it proved I didn't need perfect circumstances in order to start with Section 8 rentals. I mentioned earlier that I am a former practicing lawyer. I went to school for years. I passed the bar. I practiced real estate law. And I came out of all that with, yes, a degree, but also a mountain of student loan debt and contractor income that was not giving me real financial security. I was not sitting on a pile of savings, but I knew real estate and I understood the deals. And I decided to start anyway with just one property. I figured out the system. I started to get and stack cash flow. Then I bought the next one and I repeated this. So 2 years later, we'd built a $1 million rental portfolio, have two little babies. They're not so little anymore, 1 and a 3-year-old. I guess they're kind of little. Averaging anywhere from $600 to over $1,000 a month in cash flow per property every single month. And that's whether I work that day or not. And in general, I work like less than an hour a month on my rentals. So you do not need to be in a perfect position to start. You just need to start. So most people never build wealth through real estate because they keep waiting until the conditions are perfect. But there's no such thing as perfect. The conditions are never going to be perfect, but the people who build wealth are the ones who find a way for their particular situation to work and just start. So with Section 8, you're getting that guaranteed rent, generally higher than average rent because the government wants to incentivize landlords to actually join the program. So when you do it right, this is the sustainable path to building long-term wealth in real estate. And if you want the exact roadmap that I use to do it, download my free Section 8 blueprint in the description below. That is your starting point, and when you're done, go ahead and watch this next video here, because when you pair the two together, you're going to be even further along in your real estate journey.